Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel, back with another one. And this one is a very hot topic, okay? It's the lady going viral on TikTok right now because she's been calling these churches and asking them if they're willing to help with a can of formula for her baby who is hungry, who hasn't eaten. And she's calling these churches, it's like a social experiment basically, to see if how many churches are willing to help and who's not. And I mean, it's kind of shocking, but it's really not shocking. So we're going to get right into these clips because, yeah.
So I'm calling your church to test if they would feed a starving baby. And right now we are calling the First Baptist Church in Dallas, Texas to see if they would feed a starving baby.
First Baptist Dallas, this is Sheila. May I help you?
Hi, yes. I was calling to see if y'all by chance had any like baby formula.
Not that I'm aware of.
Okay, I have a 2-month-old and I ran out of formula last night, so she's gone all night and all day without formula. I was wanting to see if there's any way y'all could get like a small can of baby formula.
I can transfer you to our benevolence. Hold on.
Okay.
First Baptist Dallas, this is Sheila. May I help you?
Hi, yes. Nobody answered when you switched me over.
No one answered. Did you leave a message for them?
No, I'm just trying to, I mean, she's gone all night and all day without formula, so I'm just trying to make sure, like, somebody can answer. So I didn't know if you could just let me know if it's something that y'all could do.
I'm not aware of any programs that we have like that to help you. Sorry.
Okay, hold on just 1 second while I turn off my baby, okay? Okay, so I'm actually conducting a social experiment to see if churches would help feed a starving baby. Hello?
So, what would you like for me to say?
I mean, honestly, my next question is, are you pro-life? Is your church pro-life? That's the second time. That's why I've gotten hung up on. So I'm calling your church to test to see if they would help feed a starving baby. And right now I'm about to call Germantown Baptist Church located in Memphis, Tennessee. And we are going to see if they would be willing to feed a starving baby.
Thank you for calling Germantown Baptist Church. Please listen carefully as our menu options have changed. Press 1 for our address. Press 2 for worship service information. Or press 0 for the operator.
Germantown Baptist Church.
Hi, yeah. I was wanting to see if you all could help with a small can of baby formula.
If we can help with what? I'm sorry.
Like a small can of baby formula.
Let me get the pastor on call for you. Let me place you on a hold. One moment, please.
Hello?
Hi, yes. I was just wanting to see if y'all were able to help with baby formula at all.
We unfortunately are not. We have a benevolence program, but it is for our members.
It's just for the members, because like I have a 2-month-old and she hasn't ate like since last night, so she's gone all night and all day without any formula. Like I don't need money or anything, I just need like a small little can, and I've been calling everywhere and they're just telling me call churches, and I just don't know what else to do.
Yeah, I mean we don't have any formula here to give out. We don't have any kind of food bank or anything like that.
Would it be something y'all could get and I could pick it up?
What's that?
Would it be something you all would be able to get and I can pick it up?
Well, like I said, if it's anything like that, our benevolence is for our members.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
2 predominantly black or African American Baptist church and 1 mosque. Out of 25 to 30 churches in Kentucky. One creator on this app, I'm going to tag her below. 2 Baptist churches, predominantly African American or black, and 1 mosque are the only churches who, when she called and said, I have a starving newborn baby, can you help me with formula? Those are the only 3 out of about 30 churches that helped. This creator is literally playing in the background of her phone calls, screaming baby sounds. It sounds like a newborn is crying because it's very, very hungry. And these people from the church, tax-free, mind you, commanded by their religion to help, mind you, the whole reason they're there, mind you, have pretty much all said no, except for 2 Baptist church and 1 mosque. So if you look like me and every week you are giving your money to a church, they need to be audited by their congregation immediately. Ask them where the money's going, or stop giving it to them. Immediately we will be donating to the mosque.
Prank calling churches to see if they'll feed the poor is kind of stupid. Because we all know the motivation behind this is clicks and views. A bunch of folks who don't go to church, don't believe in God, definitely don't contribute to churches, are prank calling to make a point. And the vast majority of churches that do feed the poor will never get the recognition. But the 1 or 2 churches that would answer weird would somehow become representative of the church not feeding the poor. Nonetheless, I want to give a shout out to all the churches that continue to feed the needy. And to the folks making the prank calls, y'all not helping anyone, because you're probably not feeding the hungry either. And you're probably going to help to dissuade someone who is in need from reaching out to a church if it ever comes to that. You'll like the Bible until the Bible says something that you don't like. I'll leave it at that.
The mom who called her local churches asking for baby formula because she didn't have enough for the week, it's both shocking people and not shocking anyone, because she found out that you can look at a church and tell who would be willing to give her free, just a small thing of baby formula is all she asked for. She's not asking for money. She's not asking for anything else, just baby formula. She has a baby crying in the background. It's basically a social experiment. We have seen mega churches hanging up on her. They basically can't get her off the phone fast enough. And some of them will send her to a voicemail and then never call her back. So mega churches absolutely will not help you. As soon as they figure out you're a person in need, they have nothing to do with you. Every other Christian church, I think except for a Linden, Kentucky or Tennessee, I can't remember. The person who answered that phone, it was a man, and he was like, I'm going to go get you formula right now. All the other ones. Oh, a Buddhist temple. One of the churches she called who was willing to help was a Buddhist temple. All of these other churches, God is not in those facilities. Kind of like white Christian. Did I not say that part? Yeah, the churches that she called that were willing to give, that were Christian faith-based churches, those were all African American churches willing to help her. I don't know if the one in Linden, I'm not sure about that one. And especially a bigger, like prosperous church, they absolutely will not help you the second that they find out that you are not an active member of their church. What is an active member? A member who has given money to that church. And you can literally listen to some of these churches telling her no, and they are saying, I'm sorry, we do actually have a program, so they have like the funds and the means. They're not saying that they don't, but we just can't give to you because you're not an active member of our church. Not because you're not a member of our church, an active member. So just keep that in mind. Unless you're giving money to these churches, they don't want to have anything to do with you. Even a mother with baby crying who hasn't been fed, because that's what she's like, my baby has misfeedings. I am in panic mode. I've called everybody. They don't even offer her other resources to call. The churches, the Buddhist temple was literally, this one was like, hey, I'm going to go get your baby formula, but here's a list of other resources to call as well if it happens again. The churches who were willing to help get her formula were not only willing to help, but they were also helping her find other people willing to help her too. So it's just crazy that there's people who not only aren't willing to help, they just don't care to even like get them to other resources, but the people who are willing to help are even going above and beyond. That is God.
Wait. So everybody wants to reach out to the church right now for help because they're not receiving their food stamps. And they feel as though the church is wrong for not helping. Well, here's the thing. The church may want to help, but they don't have the resources to help. You got to realize, right, you all said that all the church wants is your money. And you weren't going to give the church any of your money. So how do you expect the church to now support you or help you when you had money, you wouldn't give the church any of your money. The only person that gives the church their money are the people that attend the church. People outside the church don't give the church any money. But you want to call the church now and ask the church for assistance and ask the church for the money. But where's the money going to come from? You didn't give anything, so how do you expect to receive anything? The Bible says you reap what you sow. You can't go to the bank, right, and ask them to give you anything, right, when you haven't put anything in. So the church does not have the funds or the resources to support everyone because you wouldn't give them anything.
I'm not afraid of y'all, and I'm still standing on what I'm saying. And I'm going to tag you since you want to keep coming back and forth. So I'm just going to make one final video, and hopefully this is this. And I am talking about that tattoo lady who called in the church trying to set the church up. Let's be very clear before I get too deep into it. We don't know how many church probably did say yes. This is social media. She's doing it for views, clicks, and followers. She could purposely not post in the churches that wants to help. Once again, that's what she could be doing. But hey, I don't care. Let me get deep into it, right? Because you want to say to me, well, Jesus don't ask who is saved. He just blesses everyone. Anyone that got blessed by Jesus, they was in his surroundings. Anyone that got blessed by Jesus, they was in the vicinity. They was somewhere around Jesus, and the blessing fell on them one way or the other. In other words, did she call the tattoo shop and ask the tattoo shop, hey, I done spent a lot of money. She put money in the tattoo shop. I spent a lot of money in this tattoo shop. My baby is hungry. I bet you she didn't. Call a bunch of those tattoo shops that she supported and see how much they going to give back. The point I'm trying to make is simply this. No, y'all ain't obligated because y'all do not like the church. Y'all ain't obligated. Y'all is not given to the church. Y'all ain't obligated because y'all don't even like church people. Y'all only speak bad of the church. So why, if when you in need, you want to go to the church? Now, the money that's in that church is for the church people. I don't give a... Nah, you know what? Let me do right. It ain't just for the church people. It's not just for the church people, but hell, y'all, why is y'all bothering the church? Go to the businesses that y'all support. Go to the businesses and call them up. Y'all ain't gonna do that because that ain't controversial. It ain't controversial. As far as I'm concerned, this lady's doing this video. Y'all don't know how many people are saying yes. And if you ain't putting in the church, you don't like the church, you don't like the pastor, you don't like the church people, don't call the church. Go call the club. Go call your whatever. Call the people y'all put money in. Call the businesses y'all put money in and let them feed your baby.
I'm going to just say for myself personally, I really wasn't surprised. It was kind of surprising just because, you know, you would think that these churches would be more willing to help, especially it's the church. Like, that's what we expect. We expect these churches to help and to, you know, be willing to do any and everything to help a baby. It's a baby. She wasn't asking for cash. She was like, can you buy the formula and I can come pick it up? So in that situation, there's really no real excuse as to why you couldn't get a can of formula for a baby. Now, on the other side of that, because I am a church person, I do go to church, I believe in Jesus Christ, so I do believe in helping those who are less fortunate and helping people when they need help. And but at the same time, I see both sides of it because, you know, these are the same people. Some of these are the same people. I'm not saying her specifically in the video, the lady that was doing the social experiment. I'm just saying in general, the same people who will call the church needing help are the same people who don't even go to church at all. They don't believe in God. They don't, you know, they think less of people who call themselves Christians. They curse the name of God and they speak down on the Christian lifestyle. And these are the same people who, when they need something, they will call the church and want prayer and ask you for all type of assistance and help and guidance. And so I get both sides of it, that, you know, because I put in the clips of some of the opinions that people had. And I can agree with both sides because my pastor has preached on this personally. And he's not, you know, it's not to say that you can't help people, we're not supposed to help people. We are. You are supposed to help people. But at the same time, it's mainly meant for those people to put into their own mind, okay, if I'm going to be reaching out for help, I need to at least be doing something to show my gratitude. I need to be giving God more time. I need to be showing my interest in learning who God is versus talking down about these people, putting them down, trashing their name, cursing the name of God, and then turn around when you need something, when you in need, when you hurt, when you need, like when you just going through a lot, asking for prayer and donations and all this type of stuff. And it's like, like, I'm not saying that we all don't need help. We all struggle. We all need help sometimes, but it's like, you can't be a hypocrite. So I understand both sides of it. I understand both perspectives. Like the one lady talking about, go call the people at the tattoo shop and spend all this money with. Go ask them to help feed your baby. Go, ask all these people that you spent all this money with. Go ask them for a can of formula. All these people all this money that you spend with these other businesses. Go ask them. And so I can understand that. I can understand where she's coming from. Now, maybe her delivery was wrong, but I understand what she meant behind it, because that's what she said wasn't a lie. Like, she spoke the truth, because these are the same people that say, oh, this is exactly why I don't spend, I'm not giving the church a dime of my money, because all they gonna do is blah 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 blah. Which, yes, there are some churches who use your money for the wrong purposes. They use it to give the pastor a salary. They use it to buy them nice fancy cars and nice fancy houses, while the people in the congregation are suffering. And so I do agree with that. Like, I'm not giving my money for that. Like, I'm giving my money to spread the gospel, to help increase the church, to help build churches, to help feed people of the church. So, like I said, I get both sides of it, but, at the end of the day, I still think it was wrong for these churches not to give a helping hand, to not help this lady. And that's just the bottom line. Whether they was a member of the church or not, if somebody is calling you for help, they're not asking you for money. She was asking for a can of formula. She was insisting, like, hey, if you could pick it up, I can come and get it. And they weren't even willing to do that, which says a lot. So, this was this was terrible. Like, some of these churches are catching a lot of heat behind this. A lot of churches are speaking out against it and trying to, like, cover their save face about what happened, because they didn't know it was a social experiment. They didn't know until at the end, until she told them, like, hey, this was a social experiment. I was just trying to see if you would really help out a starving child. And they didn't like that. So a lot of these churches are catching some heat behind it, as they should, because you're a church. You get all these people money, you should be able to help out with a can of formula. Let's just be for real. All this money that these people are giving to this church, you should be able to help out a mom with some formula. Is that really too much to ask? So let me know what y'all think in the comments. Like I said, this was going viral, still going viral, because in these times that we in right now, people need help. So why aren't these churches, helping out? These people that donated millions, and they can't get no type of assistance? I don't know. Let me know what y'all think in the comments.